This is a little primer on the UV100T Minrray tracking camera and how to set it up. First things first, you need to be on the same network as the cameras, all right? Most everything is done through their IVE Smart software. So if you don't know what the IP addresses of the cameras are, you can go and open this up and go to Setting, IP Address, and then click Search, and it'll come up with it. So I happen to have set these cameras, but you'd probably see 192.168.5.192 and 191 for this camera. Those are defaults. They are printed on a label on the bottom of the camera, so it's pretty easy to find. But what you need to do then is go and, if you're going to use the default ones, change your PC to be on that network by going into your network card settings, or you would have to get on that same network as that camera and connect either directly to it or through a switch, and then dial in that camera's address in the web interface, and then go into configuration, network, Ethernet, and then change it to those things and then save it. You need to do it for both cameras, okay? So both of those cameras are treated independently. So you have the PTZ camera and you have the panoramic camera, okay? So you need to do it for both. And that's exactly what I did. And then once that was done, I put my PC back on the network, opened up IVE Smart, and now we can start. So once everyone's on that same network, you're on the same network as those cameras, you're going to want to go to that IP address setting. You're going to want to click search. You're going to want to make sure those IP addresses are correct. Then we're going to select that and we're going to click confirm. Now this is going and setting those IP addresses and all that information within the software so that it knows what it's working with. And now we're ready to go and get things set up. So the first thing you need to do is stop tracking. The camera comes with tracking running by default. So we're going to stop the tracking, and then we're going to click the config button. And this is going to take us into a screen that'll show us both cameras. This one here on the left is your PTZ camera. I can zoom in and zoom out, or go to the home screen, or go to a preset, or whatever. Okay, so we have complete control over that. And the one on the right is the panoramic camera, and that panoramic camera is used to determine what it's going to do in relation to everything else. You need to set a few things. You can go and zoom in by using the little zoom in, zoom out controls, okay? And then click save, and that'll save your panoramic position. So I went and I made this the panoramic position. Then you also need to set the platform position, and that's going to be basically the shot of the teacher or the subject that you want to track, okay? And I set that. I had to go back and forth. It's always best to do this with a person in the shot, but I did this so that it would catch me, about from the waist up, maybe a little bit more, so that you can see it. Once you get the shot that you want, you can just go and you can click the Save Platform Position button. So now we've done that. We've got a panoramic position, we've got a platform position, and both of those are saved. Next thing we want to do is we want to go and decide what's going to happen when it loses the target, all right? I have it set to a panoramic preset, but you can go and do anything. A lot of places might do the platform preset because it's going to show the blackboard or whatever it might be. All right, I'm leaving it on panoramic preset because demonstration wise, it'll be more impactful for you guys and you'll understand what's going on. Okay, then we can go and set the tracking settings. All right, I usually just leave auto zoom on, and that'll automatically zoom and move with you. You can also do V move. That's if you're standing on like a platform, like a little stage or something like that. It'll follow you down and that sort of thing. It does support camera flipping if the camera's mounted upside down. The next thing we need to do is set the areas, okay? And this is where the tracking algorithms really come into play. So I could just go and draw a box, and then you could alter the box. And I could actually go and change things and make it shorter, taller. I can make the bottom lower or higher, and so on. And I can even just move the whole thing around a little bit. So that's our platform area. And basically, when you walk around in here, if you're within these bounds, the camera is not going to be moving back and forth with you. It's not going to do anything until you actually go and begin to leave the shot. All right. And that's something you want because it can be really disorienting for that camera to be swinging around back and forth. It's not necessarily something that you want. Then there's the teacher tracking area. Okay. And this can be drawn as a polygon. So I can go and draw this here to make sure it captures the podium. All right. And then go across so it doesn't capture that student there. All right. And I could even go out into the aisle if I want to track down the aisle. This is a really long, narrow room. So I'm going to go and redraw this so that it's just a nice rectangle. Okay. That's the teacher track. They call it trick area, but it's the tracking area. And then the next thing you can do is do masking areas that will exclude movement, like doors coming in, windows. We're going to make sure that we get this screen in here because there will be motion on the screen when something's going in there. We don't want that going and fooling the tracking camera. I'll go and do another one for the door, and we'll make sure that that door is ignored by the tracking algorithm. And one small little monitor over here. Okay, so we've set our panoramic position, our platform position. We told it when the target's lost to go to the panoramic preset. We do want it to auto zoom when we're moving around. We've set the platform area. We've set the teacher tracking area. We've set the masked off areas. There's one more thing that you can do, and that is to go into advanced parameters. The information on the right-hand side, you can ignore this. This is for integration of other systems like a lecture capture system. But over here, you can tell it how sensitive you want it to be to movement. You can tell it how fast or slow the pan tilt speed is, and the zoom range is small or large. This is a big one, the lost timeout. So I'm going to leave it really short at 3 seconds, but you may want it to be higher. You may not want it to lose and then have to reacquire the target so fast. And then the down platform sensitivity is when you're off of the platform if it's a raised platform. So I'm going to leave these pretty much at their defaults right now, and I'm going to click confirm, and then we're going to save the parameters. All right. Notice this goes to the panoramic shot, and now we're going to close this, and we're going to start the tracking.